Forward TV. The world is thinking.
Since I've been talking about these kind of issues for a while and saying don't buy foods with more than 5 ingredients, or you know, suggesting buying local foods, a lot of food marketers have, in response to people like me, reformulated their foods. And one of the things I've been doing is, of course, you know, demonizing high fructose corn syrup for the last 4 years, and now there's all these products that boast about the fact they have no high fructose corn syrup, or they're made with real cane sugar. And I realized how brilliant that was, because essentially by removing high fructose corn syrup, which by the way is no worse than sugar, it's just another form of sugar that's particularly cheap and ubiquitous, that they have constructed an implicit health claim for sugar out of that criticism. And I realized at that point they're just so much smarter than I am, and that it's hopeless to, you know, offer those kind of critiques, because they'll figure out a way around it. And on the 5-ingredient rule, well, have you looked at your ice cream freezer in your supermarket recently? There is a new line of Häagen-Dazs ice cream called 5, because it only has 5 ingredients. You know how much it had before they went to the 5? 5. They didn't change anything. They just started bragging about the fact that it only had 5 ingredients. It's still ice cream. It doesn't turn it into health food. And there's an ad for Tostitos on television, the corn chip, and this young woman goes into the supermarket and she's looking for a snack for a party she's having, and she picks up a bag of something, you know, it's Pringles or something, and she's like, wow, 13 ingredients. That's more than I have friends coming to my party. And she puts it back, and then she grabs the Tostitos, and it only has 3 ingredients: corn, oil, and salt. And, you know, that now is health food. So I was trying to figure out, how do you defeat that idea that you take whatever the criticism being lodged at the food industry and you turn it in, you know, by this act of jiu-jitsu, they turn it into another way to sell us more food, as they did with low-fat and non-fat. And I realized I had a rule that would do it. Don't eat any foods you've ever seen advertised on television. And it turns out that almost all the food, about 80% of the food you see advertised on television, is for highly processed food. Real foods, the kind of foods being sold here, they don't have the budgets to advertise on television. And yeah, there's 1 or 2 exceptions. There are about 5% of foods you see advertised on television that are real foods, you know, the prune growers and the walnut people and stuff like that, but you're not going to mix that up. So I think they'll be okay.